Hello and welcome. It is Monday Club. We're back. It's Monday, but actually it's Bank Holiday Monday, so you're probably watching it Tuesday. Whatever. We're back. We've got some exciting topics to talk about today. It's again to do with the energy crisis, but are electricians the answer to the energy crisis for most people? But before we get into that, today we've got Wayne from A1 Electrical Services and YouTube fame. How you doing, mate?
Not bad, mate. I wouldn't quite say YouTube fame, but yeah, I'm doing
No,
good
I
now.
wouldn't. I had a look at your channel. Got a little way
Yeah,
to go yet.
legit, mate.
In the nicest way.
All the best channels have less than 1,000 subscribers, Wayne. All right. Nice stuff.
Yeah, I've really dropped my standards since Bundy's gone. Like, I've just got
Gets any old shit on here. Come
Who?
on.
Bundy. Listen,
I said, now he's gone. You get any old shit on here, won't you?
well, I have to. And why not swear in the first 5 minutes? Let's go.
Oh, you did last week. You didn't tell me off.
Yeah, anyway, Wayne, let's have
Yeah.
a little quick intro about yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Nothing special, mate. I'm just a bog standard electrician, day-to-day life. 90%.
From Wales. From Wales.
Yeah, I'm from Wales. Yeah, South Wales. Started my company 10 years ago, and yeah, 90% domestic. I do a bit of commercial, not a great deal. I wish I could do more, but just not that much around, really. And that's it, really. And nothing special, just a bog standard spark.
I work with two awesome chaps from Wales. They're like travelling sparks as doing hotels. Why can't I remember their names? One is John Pentecchi, I think his name was. Absolute crazy man, bald-headed crazy man. And then the other geezer was awesome as well. Mark Westy. So Westtech Electrical. They were awesome. Real top level sparks. Are you a top level spark?
Well, yeah, of course, mate. I'm A1 and I'm on top of the tree.
Got a gold card though.
Yes.
Hey.
I know I should recognise this from your accent, mate. So don't take this wrong way. Are you North or South Wales?
South Wales, mate.
Do you know, I'm going to tell my Welsh story now then, because it is South Wales related. Do you know, just across the bridge, Mega?
Yeah.
Mega. So I was working there in a Wilkinson's distribution warehouse 18 years ago. And we stopped in a nice little hotel, very nice place, great people and all that. Everyone said friendly. Our landlord was English, his wife was Scottish, Welsh, sorry. And we was down there a couple of nights, get chatting to everyone, and then we got chased out of the town the second night by people with flaming pitchforks because we was English. But I won't hold it against you, yeah, but that actually happened. There was people outside with bits of stick with flames on, trying to torch our vans. And I admire that kind of that kind of keeping your jobs internally. So yeah, fair play to them.
Is that real story?
That is a real story, mate. And there's some guys work with Dave Timston, if you ever listened, some of those Intech lads. It happened, and I was like, it's the first time I've ever been ethnically cleansed. I'm the last. But but I've got a lot of time for. I'm British. I'm not English. I'm British. Got a lot of time for all the Welsh and the Scottish. But some of them don't feel that way back.
Yeah, do you know what's funny? I've done a 23andMe DNA test, and it come back like 99% English, Irish, Welsh, Scottish. Like I'm basically just British. Like so, it doesn't matter. My surname's McDowell, for Christ's sake. That's not an English name, is it? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, this is a boring subject. Let's get on to: do electricians have the answer, or the solution, or part of the solution to the energy crisis? And let me explain. There's no one better suited in the electrical industry, in the UK, to sort of understand the science and principles behind what's going on and be able to, in terms of electrical flow and how much is wasted and how much you can save, and the tips and tricks of the trade and tips and tricks of knowing what's a high voltage, what's a high consumption device and what's not a high consumption device. We are immersed in it every day. We understand what's a vampire appliance and stuff like that. Do you think we could be front and center helping people understand their usage better, almost doing a energy audit so as we can help them save money.
Go on, Wayne, tell him.
Well, I think we could advise, but I don't think it's going to solve the problem, is it? Because like the energy crisis, the biggest thing is gas. You know, we're running low on gas, so we're going to have gas shortages, which is driving up prices and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you get asked much, Wayne? Do you get people like saying? Do you get people abyss to like LEDs and stuff? Do you get it in domestics? I'm not domestic, so I don't know. Are people keen?
Not really. I don't give people options anymore. So, you know, back about 12 months ago, I just made a decision. I don't fit split load boards anymore. I fit RCBO, surge protection is standard, and LED everything. So people don't get a choice with myself. I can't speak for other contractors. That's what I quote for. You either have it or you don't have me. End of. I like to keep a good practice and, you know, move with the times.
But do you ever asking you about if it is? Do you have many people saying is the stuff you're fitting energy efficient? Is it LED or like that? Or people just think it's norm now?
No one cares. You
know?
But
I think that's going to change though, and this is what I'm saying. With like Mark was telling me the other day about Mark Allison, Apprentice 1-to-1, and this weird little channel that he's got, and he was telling me about how AFDDs are like mini computers. And
they use power, don't they? They sit there using your power.
Yeah, they're like mini computers. That's going to be a whole problem coming in soon if you've got to have them on certain circuits and stuff. I'm not entirely clear on that.
I think Dave Savory did a video on this. I think he's the first YouTube electrician to change his entire board for him. In fact, he was. And he talks about the energy use in them. I don't know how much it was, but it weren't inconsiderable. There's quite a bit there.
See, it's all these little things that where we are so immersed in it, I'm sure come winter, when there's going to be issues, and I know you say gas is going to be the biggest issue, but what is it? As of today, I think it's about 63% of our power is generated from gas.
Yeah.
I know a considerable amount about this that I'm not going to talk about because it's commercially sensitive to the company I work for. So I work in the energy industry. Yeah, but you can look online at what the pounds per therm is, and it's about $6.40 a therm at the minute. Don't worry about what a therm is. That's 3 times the price of last year. And gas is only going to get more rare, I'm afraid. So
what I'm saying is, does the gas mean, like, so gas being way higher now than it was, is only going to go higher come the come Christmas and so on, come the winter, if you like?
Yeah.
The energy prices are going up again, 80% in October, another 50% in January. People are going to need to learn how to make savings in their house. Who are they going to turn to? Us.
I reckon it's past savings, mate, don't you? I'll only repeat what I've read because I don't want to give anything where it's commercially sensitive or not thing, but I've heard £1 a unit, April, £1 a kilowatt, £1 a kilowatt. That's bonkers.
So that's like a £5 a day.
What are you going to do? I've been having a little experiment this week to run my ass at the bare minimum. Like, obviously, doing these podcasts has cost too much money because this lighting is not cheap to make me look good. But I texted you, Sam, the other morning. I got up at 8 o'clock. My smart meter just had fitted, said 85 pence on it, and I'm like, "Well, can I go? What the fuck is using 85 pence?" Turns out it adds on the standing charges, which I didn't know. So now I'm doing it again. But like, I can't drop anything, mate. I don't know about how everyone else is, but I can't get rid of anything in my house without affecting my quality of life.
Yeah, but I feel like this is a problem. Like we're on a band where we can afford these rises. Not like we can't swallow them and carry on as normal, but we can swallow these rises to a certain extent. But it is going to affect our quality of life. Then you've got the people not below us, but people don't like perhaps have as much disposable income as us, who won't be able to swallow this and still maintain a normal life. So what are they going to do?
That's who I feel sorry for, you know, like, Mrs. Jones, who works on the checkout at Tesco's.
Yeah.
On minimum wage. There's weeks where I think, how the hell am I going to pay all my bills? You know,
I know.
How the hell are they managing?
So what's the answer? Like, obviously,
robbery.
I've been asked by 4 people in the last month, can I rig their meter? I'm like, no, I don't really know how to. I would I would if I could, but I don't know how, and I don't want to learn.
I'll tell you what, if you're not careful, trade schools for you bring out a course on it. You can put that in the fucking trailer.
No, but it's true though, isn't it? It's like people are going to start turning to crime and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
is there a way? Like, I was looking at certain things online the other day, and I saw that like a heated blanket, like you can get a 60-watt heated blanket, costs about 50p a night to run.
You know, I think people need to do, and this is the energy firm in me creeping out again, yeah? People need to stop about talking about money, how much it costs, and talking about how much kilowatts they use in their house. I go, oh, my house uses about 12 kilowatts, 30 kilowatts, whatever. Because the money thing doesn't last. It goes out of date in a day. People just do about kilowatts so they can do a quick mass on what the kilowatt price and how many they use. Because traditionally we talk about it in pence per unit, don't we? And they'd start thinking about it a bit more to bring it down. But again, I mean, sooner or later, Wayne's going to be down to 6 caps. He's got to flog 2 of them to pay for his bill.
Oh yes. Oh, do you know what? That's how dumb I am. I wasn't even. I was like, what's he talking about? But no, like what I'm saying is, you have this sort of in-depth knowledge about energy companies and stuff that you can't tell us because it's super secret. Whatever.
It's not a secret, but I don't.
Just say it.
Well, go and read it. What I want people to do is, and people on Twitter probably think I'm a real miserable bastard who doesn't want to help anyone. I want to help people, like Wayne was saying. I feel sorry for people that can't afford electricity. I genuinely do, and I want them to do better and save money and all that. But the hard fact is, it is a commodity. And if you go and read about it and educate yourself on it, you'd know a lot more. People wouldn't say this shit they say, like nationalise electricity firms, buy cheaper gas, fund it and all that. It's never going to work, mate. We're too far gone. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. So the only way you can do it is
could we be a solution? Could we help people by using our knowledge and our understanding from dealing with electricity every day to help people reduce their costs and come up with little tips and tricks to help people get through the winter? That's what.
To a small degree, but it's not going to help because you need a certain amount of electricity, don't you? You need
that's what I'm saying.
So we may, like, say if the average bill goes to £100 a week, we may save them a £5, but other than that, we're all fucked.
I suppose the little savings, it's interesting how you word that. The little savings save you more, the more expensive it gets. So what might be saving you 5 pence this week could be saving you £5 next year.
It's true.
Like I think who put one up today? I think I shared something you should have then, didn't you? About it's costing this much to run this much to run that. And someone put it's not worth it. I'm like, it is worth it. Every single penny is worth it at the minute because it might not be worth it today. You might be able to afford 3 pence, but next year that 3 pence might be 30 pence. So like, get used to it. Learn how to deal with the energy.
What is the thing about battery storage and Octopus? Is that worth doing? Let me explain. Jamie come up with the idea the other couple of weeks ago.
It's not my idea, but it's what I'm doing. I don't want to.
Talking to Stuart Cato, and he was telling us about get battery storage, charge it during off-peak hours using Octopus energy, where it's about 7.5p a unit. Or
yeah, that's correct. That's the number.
And then use that in the daytime to supplement your energy bill.
Which is what I'm doing. I actually spoke to Stuart today. I'm pushing forward with that because I don't want to scaremonger, yeah, but I am buying a battery storage system. I'm going for it, and I'm going to charge up at night. And I looked the other day, Octopus is 7.5. If I move on to Octopus Go, I think it's called, it cost me 7.5p at night. I'm paying 13 now, but in the day it cost me 43p. That was today, but I'm paying 28p now. So there's some maths to do, but I think the way it's going, and I fall off the cliff in August.
But what about, can you charge a battery to full power in 4 hours?
No. Yeah, that is the most interesting point you could have come up with. I was going to try and cover, and you've done it for me. Your batteries, your inverter, and your supply need to be big enough to charge your batteries in the window of 7.5 hours that you get, preferably a bit quicker to give yourself some headroom. So yeah, you've hit the nail on the head this time. If you can't charge it up in the short window, so there's no point having 100 megawatt of batteries out in your garden if you only got 1 3 kilowatt inverter. It doesn't work.
It's never going to catch it up.
Yeah, so yeah, good point, mate. And that's the bit
why wouldn't you go for solar panels as well?
I'm going to, but solar panels have to go on my roof. I have to get them up there. I have to strap them down. I have to fanny around my roof that I might break on the way to winter. I've got to put cabling in. I will supplement it with solar panels, but I see the best saving to be just chucking a battery in. I was just wondering, you had anyone asking you, Wayne? Domestic battery, something like that?
I've got a customer who's going through it now. I fitted a hypervolt for them, and they are doing exactly what you said. They were on the Octopus Go for the EV charging, and they're going to get a battery storage and top it up in the night. Exactly what you're doing.
Have you got a bit? How much you done then? Have you done a few, or have you done any, or is it something you're looking to do?
I got my solar PV course now in November. I haven't done the battery storage course as such, but I've done a few of the manufacturers.
All right.
Yeah, so
it was good then. You've got knowledge here. All I've done is
I'm not a vast knowledge, but
but you are a normal. You call yourself a box standard spark earlier, which I don't think is a bit rude to yourself. But you're a box standard spark who's moving into it. Who you been looking at? What you got? What you've been learning?
Well, just all the manufacturers things. I've been doing Go Energy. What's the other one?
The other week on the podcast, I wrote something down that I realised I'm recording a fucking podcast. I don't need to write down. Just listen to it again later. Go Energy. Have you done any others? Because I'm interested if there's any you recommend, to be honest. Because I'm keen to find out more myself.
I don't know enough myself at the minute, mate.
Alpha Smile is meant to be the one, though, isn't it?
That's the one I'm looking at. That's the one Stuart recommended to.
Yeah,
Alpha SM, which I think stands for small. No, SM.
Because they're scalable as well, so you can just get another pack and attach it to it.
And they'll take a bit of solar. You can, and they also are AC coupled, which is good for me because I can't be fucking arsed with inverters, and it takes a lot of space. Is the main problem.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's having the space to fit it all. If you've got
it in a loft.
Mate, have you found the way for that? No chance.
Mind you, I've got a cupboard under the stairs that it would all fit in lovely.
See, I don't want it in my ass, mate. I want it out in the garden where it can catch fire if it wants and do its thing and burn out there, not in here.
Yeah, I don't think they catch fire like that, bro.
They do, yeah.
When they do. When they get thermal runaway, they'll go. That is unlikely, and I'm not trying to scare them anyone. It's just from my personal experience of battery fires, which is 0. I don't want it in my ass. I've seen a Tesla go up. That's enough for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Smoke is a killer in it. They just pour out smoke, and I just don't want to be sat in my bed at night thinking about it.
No, I'll tell you what. I had a remote control car for a little while, just fanning about, and they use a new type of battery. I used to think like the 9.6 NiCad battery was a one back in the day when I was like 15.
Yeah, 6 cells together with it.
Yeah, and now they've got something called a LiPo battery, mate.
How long ago was that?
No, the LiPo battery. I've got one under here somewhere.
Their current technology, all of them cars.
Yeah, the current technology. If you pierce it, it goes up like a absolute flamethrower.
So the reason I'm scared of batteries is you've just touched on it. I used to fly remote control helicopters. I got one. I practiced with it, got to simulate and all that, and in the end I got to fly it, and I got quite good at it. Then one day it hit the ground, pierced the battery, and it went up like a real helicopter would.
Yeah, it does.
Like, Jesus Christ,
it
that's
does.
in my house.
And when they get old,
I binned it.
If you leave them fully charged and they get old, they start expanding.
Yeah.
And then if the case pops, it's over. It's gonna burn your house down.
There's some good videos on YouTube. Just look at LiPo batteries models, and that's what's put me off. I know they're not LiPos. I know people are screaming at the screen now. They're not LiPos. They're much more stable. But I've seen what can happen, and it terrifies me, to be honest.
Talking about LiPos and talking about battery stuff, you put out a little post today, didn't you?
Me?
A little cryptic post on Instagram.
Did I?
Well, you did.
I did. I weren't being cryptic. I weren't being cryptic. I was just like, let's ask Wayne about it. When you follow people, what puts you off following people? Anything? It's not a trick question. I'm not trying to stitch you up.
Advertisements all the time, stupid selfies, shit like that. It's just
right. There's
we know that like everyone has a sale every 3 minutes. I'm sick to death hearing about Tradeify and all the other crap.
Wait, don't fuck about. Don't upset the Welsh, Tradeify. They'll do you.
Hey, listen. There's a better one out there anyway. It's called Payaka.
There he goes. And also, I'd just like to tell everyone that I love T-shirts by them. No, it was. I don't mind advertising. It makes the world go round. You've got this podcast advertisers. You always do it at the start, get out of the way. And if someone says, "I use this mouse because it's a nice mouse," then fine. But you know, when it's underhand, pretend like almost like, oh, what's it
What
called?
brand are we talking about here, Jamie?
I don't want to just hammer a brand because it's a numerous brands do it.
Don't be scared.
Unilite, fucking let it go, let it go. It's just like, it's killing my feed on Instagram. It's literally like I've unfollowed 3 people because they're just banging out instantly. It's just the way they do it. It just.
What is your opinion on Unilite, Wayne?
I don't mind them, mate, but they seem to have a sale more than DFS, don't they? We got a 50% sale, and then 3 days later we've got a 35% sale. Then they've got a 75% sale. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Can I just say, I'm not saying it's a bad product either. I just want to put that clear out. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad product at all. I won't buy them because they're expensive. To be honest, I'm too tight. But man,
they're good. I've got 3, but just stick.
Oh, fucking Unilite wanker.
No, to a reasonable price.
Do you know what? I've had a few Unilite bits and pieces over the time, and it's all right. It's good stuff. I think it's a little bit pricey, if I'm honest.
It's nicely
I'll
branded.
tell you what it is. This is exactly what it is, because I've been looking at them this week. I've been looking at Yeezys, right? I know
What, the
I'm
shoes?
40 years old. Yeah, I know I'm 40 years old. Right?
Fucking what?
Yeah, it's sad, but I've been right down a rabbit hole of Yeezys. Now, every Yeezy produced is so easily copied. Now they've got this new one out. It's called the Yeezy Foam Runner, and it's basically like a Croc trainer. And I'm obsessed. I need it in my life, but I refuse to pay £140. A quick Google, and you can find a Yeezy Foam Runner from the same factory in China for like £7. So, like, is Unilite the
Is this an advert? Are you doing an advert?
Is Yeezy the Unilite? No, is Unilite the Yeezy of torches?
Straight up, right? Because I don't want the Unilite crew outside my house with their Unilites.
We're having a conversation about
what
them.
I'm saying is,
fine.
it's
We're
not
quoting
cat.
them.
I'm not saying it's cat, but I'm just saying, you know, if your advertising was a bit more savvy, the advertising you're doing, I think, puts off tradesmen. It's putting me off. So, like, anyone, just advertising should be like, I want to try that. I'd like to experience that. That looks good. Not like, hey, everyone, I love toast. You should buy toast. I'm using toast all the time.
No, what I'm saying is, do you think, like, some of the stuff, you can go on Amazon and buy something fairly similar for a lot less?
Yeah, because it's just rebranded, isn't it?
You can with everything.
Some of it's unique designs. I've got to give them that. It is unique designs.
Well, they'll get like like on a tool, you get that soft bit. They'll have that a different colour, won't they? At the factory.
No, I don't think it is. I think some of the casings and stuff like that, they've got some unique stuff. I think early in their career, they did have a lot of like rebranded stuff. Put this Larry colour on it. Boom, done.
Larry colour.
Safety yellow and black. It's a nice concept, but I think I do think they're easily replicable, and a lot of people are starting to rip off their colour scheme as well.
Yeah, which I feel for them for. And at the end of the day, they say all publicity is good publicity. So Unilite, if you want to bang me a light across, don't bother. I'll win this anyway. It's
But
too
yeah,
leery
no.
for me.
I don't know. I don't know if we got to the bottom of, can electricians help people this winter get through the winter in a more, by helping people reduce their costs and giving them some good sound advice.
Well, I thought Wayne say I'm getting asked all the time. I thought it'd be like, because we've got amongst his domestic. I thought it'd be like, yeah,
no, people ain't
always
panicking
asking
yet.
Yeah, but I would have thought people would be.
People
don't
ain't panicking
think,
yet.
they don't think they can help themselves. They just want to blame someone else. So it's either the government's fault, it's Russia's fault, or it's Fat Sam's fault. It's someone else's fault. They're not the responsible people to save themselves, are they?
Is he after my job?
They just want to bitch and moan.
Could have put any better myself. I think you're totally right. Someone's going to back me up now. I think people need to, like I say, people will blame everyone else. Yeah, I've said for years. In fact, Sam will start shouting at me in a minute. Electricity has been too cheap for too long. People are too used to wasting it.
See, that's so dumb.
Here he goes.
Come on, then,
so dumb.
Like,
sorry, I've just been called into work tomorrow, so that's handy.
That's dumb.
No, it's time and off.
Oh, on a bank holiday, double.
Yeah, as if, man. 2022. I need to do it to pay for my electricity bill at the end of the week anyway.
So we need to pay for the lighting for this single podcast.
Yeah. No, you're talking, Pat, man. Like, the energy companies have had it right off for a long time.
Right, stop.
No,
Energy
they've had
companies.
it off.
No, energy companies. Who are you on about when you say energy companies?
Oh, here
Who
we
are
go.
the mythical energy companies, right? There's people that sell it to you, like Octopus.
EDF.
Yeah, EDF, Octopus, yeah, they sell it to you. They're a trader, yeah. Then there's
EDF is
the people
it's a power company.
Yeah, then there's the people that get it to your house. They're called distribution. That's like WPD, Scottish Power.
All of them have had it off.
Then there's transmission. That's National Grid. Then there's
They've had it
generation.
off.
Those people. Who are the energy companies you keep slagging off? Who are these?
I'm
mythical...
not. Listen.
No.
What I'm saying is, as an industry, they've had it off for a long time.
Right. The Octopus, for example, make a very low margin. Yeah. So can we rule them out of the energy company's hatred?
No, listen. I'm not. Listen. I'm not talking about one specific. Stop trying to like.
We need to break it.
He obviously works for. He obviously works for EDF, right?
I don't work for any of the major energy companies.
You know what he is? He's one of them ones. He's one of them. You know when like a country gets invaded, he goes and works for them. And he's like, well, I might as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I just want to provide for my family. Ugh.
The problem
what do they call him? A conspirer.
I'm a what do you call it? I work for the ice bidder. I don't give a fuck about the common man. All right. But no, it's not. I hate that. That's a very much a media driven thing.
No, it's not. I don't watch it. Listen, I don't watch the news.
You are getting around
that
because otherwise, you wouldn't say the energy companies. Is it transmission, distribution, sale, or generation that are running your?
Oh, well, I say this then. The power firms. The power firms have had it off.
It's like me saying all electricians are dicks.
They are.
Which ones?
99% of them. Ask any painter.
If we're going to slag someone off, I want it to be fair and direct. The problem is gas prices are too high. But the gas companies build a massive rig, drive it out to the middle of the sea, drill a hole and suck it out for a reasonable amount of money. And it's that cost that's gone up.
Well, that's not true.
Do you want me to tell you why? I know what's gone up and I can tell you.
Go on then.
So, a lot of companies aren't taking gas off Russia at the minute, so they've got to get it from elsewhere, yeah? Now, most companies cannot import liquefied gas. They don't have the facilities, so they can't get it. So at the minute in time, the UK's got 2 or 3 pipelines that go to Europe. We have the facilities to import liquefied natural gas. We're importing it, yeah, at the minute, making it back into gas, and we're pumping it to Europe, which is using up our equipment. And also, we can't bring it back because all our lines are going one way, and that is why gas prices are going up, because of the movement of that gas is a massive driving factor. If you're really stuck...
So again, it's energy firms.
No, because we're helping Europe when we have enough gas. Help us, because in winter we sell it, in summer we sell it to them, and in winter we get it back off them. So it's a two-way street.
So why is it not going to go down in winter?
Well, it's not going to go down.
What do you think? What we're talking about? Why is the price of gas not going to go down? Because it's coming back to us, isn't it?
You'll be lucky if you can buy gas in winter, mate. You'll be lucky if we're not literally, and I'm not even joking, you'll be lucky if they're not rolling blackouts in winter. Yeah,
this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Whose fault's that?
We can't pin on someone that we're talking about a massive industry that's got loads of ins, outs, people, commodities, fuel. I said it the other day on Twitter, yeah.
Do you know what it sounds like? Do you know what it sounds like?
No, I'm sucking them all off.
No, it sounds like piss poor planning.
It is. And the governments, if you want to blame the government, yeah, we had a massive offshore storage of gas.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, so yeah, they had a massive offshore storage of gas in the North Sea. Do you know more than me?
Just off Yorkshire, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. And they could pump gas into what effectively was a place where they took gas out of and store it. And in 2017, I think it was run by Centrica, the government says, shut it down, it's not worth it. And you can blame the government for that straight up.
What it sounds like is everyone's been having it off because it's been a nice, peaceful time in Europe and that. They've been having it off. Now they can't have it off. Everyone's got to pay more. That's
totally right. And you know who's been having it off? Everyone from the user and every one of those people I've talked about, including the user's been doing that.
Well, no, they haven't, because the user's got no choice as to what they pay. They just pay what they pay.
You know, people.
You can shop around a bit, but they're not going to go. Oh, excuse me. I read in the local in the Times this week that there's some fuckery going on with the gas, and so I'd like to pay more so as to avert the crisis. People ain't going to do that. So you can't blame the user. It's the people who are running the system, who are dealing with everything, from the government to the greedy fat cats who running the energy companies, the distribution and this and that. It's them, bruv. They've been having it off. They're all living in their mansions with renewable energy sticking up their ass. You can't tell me that it's our fault that they fucked up the system. Are you off your nut?
But a human, knowing a lot that happened to people who don't have any food, yeah? Keep some food in. People should be a bit more prepared.
Oh, okay, let me store some gas in my house.
I'm not saying
okay.
That. No, what I'm saying is I myself have not
What are you talking about?
I'm getting battery storage now because I need to, because I see it as a thing. We all should have got a bit more behind renewables and solar and that, and then we just fucked it off because gas was so cheap. We all should be doing our part to prevent this happening in the future, so we can't be able to ransom by some nutcase country. I know it might seem.
Crystal ball! Can you please tell me what's going to happen in the future so I might prepare my house for disaster? Now that's called a prepper, and most people have been coating off preppers for the longest time. Look, he's mental. He's getting some dried powder food and sticking it under his ass.
I'm not. You don't have to be a fully grown prepper, but I make sure I have things available, like if there's going to be an accident.
Well, I've got 50 packets of pasta on top of my cupboard, just in case. Shut up, Jamie, man. Chat shit.
It's proving it. Come lockdown, people are fucking dying in the streets because they couldn't get any food because they keep one day's food in the fridge that they leave on all fucking day, burning electricity.
Because we live in a society where we go to the shop and get shit.
Everyone in society is a fucking fanny nowadays.
No, it's not. It's called culture. It's culture. It's like, hold on. Oh, I don't need to store loads of shit in my fridge because guess what? I go to the shop, it's there. It's like being an electrical, like bringing it back to electricity. Yeah, it's like being a electrical company who buys everything they need for the year, puts it in rents a warehouse, puts it in there, and then goes there instead of going to the wholesaler whose job it is to store shit.
I mean, look at Wayne. He's got 8 hats. He's not going to run out of hats, is he? He's on it. What do you think, Wayne? Come on. Do the yin and the yang. Where do you sit in this argument? Because me and Sam are very much at either end of this.
I don't really know, mate. I just think everyone's at fault. We have wasted. We just waste electricity. We're a wasteful nation. We waste food. We waste everything. And then as soon as there's a shortage, we're like, fuck, whose fault is this? We're just a society of naggers.
It can't be our fault, though. What are you talking about? It can't be our fault.
It can.
It's not our fault.
Throwaway society we are nowadays.
It's impossible for us to be at fault because energy companies were selling us stuff for cheap. The fuck are you talking about?
Because we don't get away with it. We don't get away. Water's going to be short this year because they've not built a new reservoir since 1991.
Whose fault's that?
That's the water.
Oh, you shouldn't have watered your garden this year. You shouldn't have a hot tub.
The water. No. The water companies are shit asses because.
Hold on, Jamie. I need to stick up for the water companies. They've got. Dude, what's the water company? You've got the ones that you've got the plants that filter the water and refine it. Then you've got the people who pump it out. That's a distribution. Do you know what I mean? You're chatting shit again.
No, the electricity companies provide electricity as we require it. Yeah, and it's hard work to do that. What they don't do is they don't shove raw electricity that stinks of shit all over my drive. Yeah, and I've got to say that a water company, electrical company, are very different people. They do different things, and I've yet to walk outside and be covered with raw electricity like I have raw sewage in my local river. So
that's because there's not enough to go about.
There's not enough raw. I'm angry because I didn't get covered with raw sewage. It's a disgrace.
No, but you see what I'm saying? It's like. I know
what you're saying. I
know you bum the electricity companies. I know, it's like, oh, I love you. Like, you cut you in half, got EDF written for you. It is what it is, right?
And the French, I fucking hate the French almost as much as I hate the Welsh. No, not really.
But the reality is, there's been some fuckery afoot for a while. Everyone's been having it off. Including the 90%, the energy companies, they've all been having it off. Loads of dough. All the bosses been getting paid up. Shareholders been getting paid up. Everyone's been having it off. Now all of a sudden, it's like the banks, man. It's like exactly what happened when with the banking crisis and all that. All of a sudden they stopped having it off. Oh well, everyone's got to pay us now because we're not making what we used to make.
I dare to say, I dare to say this, right? This could be controversial. That we're a nation, particularly the English, of selfish C words.
See why? Why
The,
not?
the Scottish and the Irish and the Welsh tend to look after each other a little bit more, and other ethnic groups do. Whereas the English are selfish, greedy bastards more than anyone else. And
What
we've
a
dug
dumb
ourselves
thing to
holes.
say. What
Yeah.
a dumb thing to say.
I
Oh,
think
you
it is.
listen, you've reached new levels of dumbness.
Oh, it's the Parliament, isn't it? We all blame the government. That sits in London. People in London are more like don't understand that anything.
Hold
happens
on,
around
when's the
them.
last time we actually had an English Prime Minister?
Oh, that's a good question.
Do you know what I mean? Tony Blair, Scottish. Gordon Brown, Scottish. Theresa May might have been English. I don't know. What's his name? Boris Johnson. Whatever the hell he is, he's about 15 different things. He's Russian, mostly Russian, isn't he? Like,
I just think community should be a bigger thing. I said this on the podcast we recorded last week, it's not coming out till next week. I think everything would be better if people were more of a community and looked after each other a bit more. And that's what's missing. Everyone's very selfish. Companies are all about making
how
money.
is having community going to help the energy crisis, bro?
Well, if everyone on the street got on, they could all have a linked solar system on the roofs, couldn't they? And a central bus system. They do this abroad. They have like district heating systems and stuff like that. Like you go to Finland, people generate electricity in like 4 or 5 houses and heat. They only have one boiler. Why is every man? What? I live on a terrace road, yeah. There's 10 terraces down here. Why have we all got our own boiler when one big one would be far more efficient? Because we don't want to talk to each other because we're cocks. That's why. But if we did do that,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't want to know any of my neighbours. I don't talk to any of my neighbours. I'm not trying to be friends with any of my neighbours. I ain't interested.
On an energy level, if we all 10 of us got together and heated one bottle of water instead of 10 of them, we'd use less.
Yeah, but then I've got one for myself. I don't care about you lot.
We should be more like the Finns.
Why, man? They ain't thriving, are they?
They are. The Finns, fucking hell. Have you ever read about it? I like the top of Europe people. They're all very friendly. They help each other out. They dig each other out. They don't get all like, this is my little castle. I'm going to eat my own water and use electricity. I think there's just a lot of things we do differently.
I'm going to put solar on my house. I'm going to get a battery. I'm putting solar on my house. I'm getting a battery, and I'm just going to watch everyone else burn.
But obviously, if I buy a battery for my house, and next door buys a battery, well, there'll be 3 inverters when we could have all gone in on a bigger, better system. But I know it's hard work, but that's what I'm getting at. I'm a bit of a hippie at heart.
Yeah, but that's mental. That's never going to happen. We're talking about real. Listen,
shit's deep again. Why are these podcasts so deep every week?
I know.
We can't get a guest.
Listen, are you ever gonna win an argument though?
I don't expect to win an argument. I just expect to put a different point forward. I suppose is my solution.
Like, because you got smashed this week, didn't you?
Wayne, who got smashed this week?
Why are you on me?
We want you involved. And it's hard work. We don't want you want to come in. That's what we got you for. Independent.
Yeah, you can't get a word in edgeways, Sam, can you?
No.
I just think we're fucked. No matter what we do, we are. We're fucked.
No, mate, I love it. This is why I want people on. That's why if you listen now, this is why I want more people to come on and tell us this because we need telling. Why are we fucked? Oh, man.
Well, there's just not enough gas to go around. The government fucked us with storing liquid gas, so we can't store liquid gas anymore. So we've got to buy it from abroad. We're paying over the odds for it, and we're just fucked. It's just going to go up and up and up and up, and we're going to run out shortly. And no one seems to want to do anything about it or take responsibility. They just want to sit there and blame the energy companies, blame fucking Russia, blame. It's just a vicious circle, isn't it?
Mm.
And nothing's gonna come of it.
Do you know the only answer to this?
Turn your fucking head off.
Self-responsibility.
What?
Self-responsibility.
Yes.
That's what I've been saying. You've been telling me I'm a knobhead.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm going to buy my shit and I'm going to look after my family. Everyone else can do their shit. Don't come to me asking to borrow some electricity when I've got my little solar panels on my roof and my battery.
Very interesting point there, right? And there's a really good documentary that I will try and tweet this week that looked at when the national grid blacks out. It was a docu-soap type thing, yeah? I've got a wood burner downstairs, and I don't know if it's on the podcast before or say again, yeah. I've got a wood burner downstairs. If the power went off, do you know when I'd use it? If it was freezing cold, do you know when I'd use it? At night. Why?
Keep your house warm.
Because if someone sees that smoke coming out of the chimney, they'll start coming around my fucking house after some of my heat. And I'm telling you now that if the power goes off more than a week, people start killing each other. Literally will start killing each other. Not even joking. National Grid went off for a week. by day 6, people start murdering each other for food.
Do you reckon?
And energy.
So
you
what
can't
will you do?
You won't be able to run a generator. You won't be able to run a generator. Someone will come around your house and take it off you. Because that's what happens. Society will break down very quickly. The commodities.
No one's coming to my house and taking nothing.
Mate, I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. There's the documentary, it's a Channel 4, but I think it's called Lights Off or something like that. I'll share it. On that,
yeah,
I can't wait. By all the industry experts, it was written by the police, fire brigade, ambulance, National Grid. They all got together and said, look what happens in these situations when this commodity is not available. And I'm telling you, by day 7, people will start murdering each other for loaves of bread. On this bombshell, you know what I mean? But be aware, yeah. And I'd generally put some advice out there. If you are going into this winter and you haven't got some form of like USB chargers, something to light, you know, just odds and sods. I know it sounds prepping, but you want to consider doing something like that. Make sure you've got ways to, like, battery radio, USB charger, candles are bad because it's at your house. I thought they can be useful. Just watch out, because if it gets bad, there's no point being that guy going, oh, fucking, I wish I bought some candles.
I don't think it's going to get that bad. Here's the thing.
I do in areas, if I'm honest.
So what you think, Amy? We need to go and buy a load of uni lights.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you can charge your phones of them as well. And
yeah.
They're so green, you don't even need to turn them on.
Use discount code Bundy10. It still works.
Oh, but yeah.
No, do you know what? I don't think it comes to that. One thing the government do better than anything else in this country is they're pretty good in a crisis.
I think COVID, this whole thing went quite well.
I will agree with you to an extent.
I'm on about planning and things like the Nightingales and that kind of admin stuff. I thought that was good. Fast moving.
The dissemination of all of the jabs and all that sort of stuff. World leading. The way they look after everyone.
Whether or not you're pro.
Yeah, forget all that. Forget all that.
Just the actual physical infrastructure rollout and the actual talk.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable. So I'm not worried about descending into some sort of post-apocalyptic chaos. I don't think that's a thing.
Not this week.
Do you know what? I don't think it's a thing. I don't think it will happen because we're too good. Well, I say the government are very good at handling a crisis. And if it goes out, I'm sure they've got things. I'm sure they're already planning what to do in that eventuality.
Well, I have read that this energy crisis is going to cost the government like double what COVID cost them during the pandemic, and they are looking at opening that offshore storage thing again. It's only going to be quarter of its capacity, but that's going to cost them like £2 billion straight away like that.
Let's get their hand in their pocket. I don't know where they're getting all this money from, though.
You know what? I want to know where the money goes because there was a thing. This is not a secret. There's a thing called the GPSS. It was a national pipeline system to be fueled around. It all got sold off to the Spanish and closed off. The National Grid, we used to own it, was sold off to a Spanish firm. All the electricity companies are owned by foreign firms. I just feel sometimes that we should. I'm not against nationalisation. I think we should have kept more things in ours. I think we sold a lot of stuff off to a lot of nations who rape it and extract the cash from it. And now we're like, oh, that's not fair. Well, we shouldn't have fucking sold it then, should you? We dug ourselves a massive hole a long time ago. And we kept
I think it was trying to get in bed with Europe and be all like pro-Europe. And I think it... But anyway, this is way too political.
Way too deep. Let's talk about you, Wade. Tell me about those hats. No.
Hey, what's with the hat shout?
I don't know, mate. It's just ones I've been sent and things like that. I just chuck them on a shelf.
Fair enough.
So, my travels. That one's from Merthyr and that one's from Dowlish Top. And you don't know any of those places, do you?
I know Merthyr. I've been to
Merthyr.
Yeah, I've been to Merthyr. I've also got myself up to Carmarthen quite a bit, which is a lovely coastline.
I used to love Cardiff. When I was a youngster, my mate went to uni in Cardiff, and we used to love going up there, stay at the uni and stuff like that. Because I don't know, maybe it's because we was from London or whatever. Getting girls was easy. It was so much easier than like from Croydon.
So apologies to all Welsh, really.
I don't know. We used to go there, and without being too graphic, it was just a great time to go there. So much so that one day my car broke down on the way to Wales, so I hitchhiked the rest of the way to get there to go out that evening.
I always say Wales is like a rough pub on the estate, yeah? As in, you'll have a great time, but make sure you go there with someone that's Welsh. Don't just go on your own. You need a local guide, yeah? You're like, if you go to the Rook of the State next, make sure someone who's a regular takes you in. Wales the same. Go to someone who's Welsh, so they know where you're going and you're laughing.
What else are we going to talk about? I've forgotten everything.
I want to talk about something. I've got to do a shout out now. I'm sorry, Sam. This is taking a bit of time, but remember on the pre-record, I spoke about this guy, Burn Electrical.
Yeah.
Give him a shout out again, yeah, as well as other people, because as you may or may not know, I was on DIY with this guy, and he did a house up for a guy that had died. I'm not going to go into it too much. I'd like him to go on and talk about it. Anyway, he stayed in contact with the family, and the little girl of the guy that passed away decided that she wants to be a sparker. And this week, with numerous other people, including Loadout Shop, Hager, Nipex, and all sorts of people, he, off his own back, without anything this was going off, collected a load of tools for her. I'll read it out before the end. I took them all around for her. And I think that's a dead nice community thing to do.
Amazing.
And it's called Burn Electrical. I will quickly, while you fill this gap, I will find the post of the people.
Man. I think that's absolutely amazing. I love stories like that. I love. You know me, I'm a big supporter of women in the trade, and it's really nice to see like a lot of the girls coming into the trade now. And being a dad to a girl as well, it just makes things the future seem a little bit brighter to know that these things are happening.
I'm trying to find the post now, but while I'm on that, I have a really difficult time. I'd like to have a female a month on this on here as a guest, but I do feel like I don't like approaching you ladies on Instagram because it can be seen as a bit of an odd one. So if you are interested and you're a female spark or work in the electrical industry anyway, get in touch because it's a bit dodgy when some 40-year-old bloke looks like me starts messaging on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it. That's how I got Summer on and Kimbo. They're coming on again. I don't know what Summer's up to. I need to maybe we get Summer on next week.
I can't find it. I'm unprepared, but I know Loadout Shop gave some stuff. Nipex, Hager. Find Burn Electrical's Instagram. He's got it on there, and fair play to everyone that donated because some of those people donated. He's not got a massive following. They gave it because of that story, which I think is great, and fair play to him to sort it all out as well. And more people do community stuff like that. It'd be lovely. Thank you very much.
To be honest, though, the online electrical community, like the social media electrical sphere, is quite charitable, quite nice. They're like. If someone needs something, it's not a million miles away from getting it. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of good-hearted people in the circle. There's a lot of divs as well, but you get that in any circle.
Myself included. Where are you at, Wayne, with the social media? What's your favourite platforms at the minute? Where are you? Tell everyone where you are anyway. Where can we find you?
I'm on all of them, mate, apart from Twitter. I'm on Instagram, TikTok.
The hotbed, the electrical hotbed that is Twitter.
Yeah, I can't stand Twitter. It's full of nonsense. TikTok though is just full of trolls in it and arseholes.
TikTok is just a Chinese spy.
I won't
go on it. If you're young and you're on it, great. But I'm afraid it is gearing you up to be spies, basically. But so Insta, you on that one?
Yeah. It's a bit better community, and I think everyone gets on a bit better. You're not slagging each other off and whatnot. It's just
I am. I love it. I'm on there coating people off all the time.
I think sometimes I don't think there's anything wrong with that though, is there?
No, to be honest with you, I'm not really. I sort of fell out of love with all social media about 2 years ago now. I can't stand it. I'm on and off Twitter every now and again, but the reality is, like, I ain't got time for it. I don't know how you lot find time for it.
I have a dabble. The problem is you can't. Who's the guy that used to work for Thomas Nagger? Welsh guy. Jimbo, yeah. He put a post in once, right? I didn't even know it was him. Didn't know anyone who it was. And it was just there was a dead tight bend arm going to the board. And I just put genuinely, mate, it was just a quick one, mate, yeah. That bend's too tight. You want to look at other options to get it into the board. Just as a genuine help out. He clearly was young. I just want to say, look, it's too tight. There's other ways of doing it, yeah. Then loads of people pounced on him with what I had said. And I was like, I didn't intend it to be like that. And that's the negative side of the social media. But pretty embarrassed when he come on the Apprentice one-to-one club. I had to grovel and make an apology to him. But that's the bad bit about it is people will pounce on. Someone will say something genuinely, and people will pounce on it, and that's because people are assholes, basically.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What's your experiences on social media, Wayne?
Me, generally all right, mate. Like I said, TikTok. No matter what video I put up, I get people saying I'm a shit electrician.
That's me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Top of the world.
Yeah, but yeah, Instagram's all right, you know, and YouTube. Yeah, it's pretty positive in all fairness. I've got
What do you do it for?
people. What's that? Sorry.
What's your aim? Do you just like doing it? Do you like making content? Do you think it helps you get work?
I don't really have an aim anymore. When I first started, I thought it was to help me get work, and then I wanted to be the next artisan electrics Nick Bundy and earn loads of money. Now it's just I don't know. I don't really push it that much anymore. I'm just there, you know.
But you do enjoy producing a bit of content and that, and
yeah, I like the YouTube side of things really, and like making a little reel with a bit of fancy music, you know, tart it up a bit. But yeah, I'm kind of falling in love with it myself, if I'm honest.
It's really difficult. The likes of Bundy and Artisan and CJR who do it week in, week out.
yeah, it's great.
It's got to be something you absolutely love doing.
I love making YouTube. I love doing video work, but I just ain't got time. That's why I use Instagram so much. I can produce something a little bit quicker and faster, and I quite like being out there a little bit. But in particular, YouTube, it is graft. Anyone that's not producing any videos doesn't realise how hard it is.
Now, even this podcast, we've got to a stage. I've sort of got the podcast to a stage where we can have a chat, and I don't have to do hardly any editing. I put a few bits on, and then I export it, and it's job done. But again, really and truly, I should be putting 20 times more effort into this. Should be traveling around, doing conversations in person and stuff like that. But I mean, it's an electrical podcast. Who's actually really going to listen to a podcast for electricians?
And it's like, if you do a proper video on YouTube, my people will probably say this is wrong, but we'll come to think. I did like a proper 10-minute video on something that was a bit sciencey, like a bit of a STEM thing. 45 hours to make it. 45 hours in the back room and all that. It's bonkers how much time it will sap up. And you've got to watch your own face speaking for hours. It's terrible. Can't stand it. But yeah,
I've been doing something that's not really YouTube, but been making videos. And today I spent 6 hours and got about I think it's about 8 seconds.
Yeah, I think the general industry rule is 5 minutes takes, I think it's 10 hours. And I find that's a bit low.
And that's just not acceptable for me. I haven't got that amount of time in my day. Like, I actually, before this podcast, was ready to just say, I ain't doing a podcast, ain't interested. Because I spent 6 hours producing nothing on the computer, and all I want to do is smash everything in the shed.
I'm literally, as you know, but anyone won't know, I've still got my work boots on. I've still got my pass on from where I've been working, and I've in all my work clothes because I just don't have time.
Here's one for you. What work boots do you have?
Right, so I know we talk about sponsorship. My earphones have fell out. I can't hear anything anyone's saying. Speak. Yeah, I can. So we're on about shilling stuff and things like that. I exclusively wear Engelbert Strass workwear, t-shirts, underwear, shorts, bib and brace, boots. It's all Engelbert Strass. I won't wear anything else. So if you're a clothes manufacturer out there, don't waste your fucking time.
Engelbert Strass is decent. They make
it's not just decent
stuff.
It's the fucking absolute best, and I will not be dragged away from it like my headphones have by anyone.
Yeah, so, but the boots ain't all that. I've had them.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. These ones on here are taking the right hammer in. Do one. I'll tell you, do a pod on workwear, and I'll just bum Engelbert Strass the entire thing.
Wayne, what boots do you wear?
I got the steel blue boots that everyone else wears.
Do you know what? You lot have all got the wrong boot, and here's why. I've actually got mine on.
What are they?
These.
They're split for a start. It's not a great advert for whatever boot this is.
But come on, Nike. Nike.
I'm not playing baseball, mate. I'm a working electrical engineer.
They're basically trainers that look like boots, bro. I wear trainers all day long.
They're never going to sponsor you, though, are they? Like Engelbert Strass never going to sponsor me.
Mate, I don't care. I love them. They are like wearing trainers all day long. You don't get pulled for wearing trainers. Mate, I've got terrible feet. I've got basically zombie feet. Like my toenails yellow. All my feet are crunkled up like that.
These are the best boots, my trotters.
Yeah, it's exactly that. They're the best out there. Right, I feel like we've come to a natural end. Monday Club. We're out.